very good evening from the SBC newsroom. The IMF team, which has just completed a review in the country, says that Seychelles is on the right track in implementing the reform program it started in 2021 under the Extended Fund Facility. The head of the IMF mission to Seychelles, Todd Schneider, was speaking during a press conference this morning where he was giving the preliminary results of the review. It was the first review since the IMF approved in June this year for the Seychelles government to get $56 million under the Extended Fund Facility and $46 million under the Resilience Sustainable Facility. Mr. Schneider also said that Seychelles is honoring all its obligations with the IMF.
The government has made, very significant progress in implementing the EFF supported program and really strengthening macroeconomic balances. All of the end June performance criteria and indicative targets, the numerical targets under the program, have been met, and really progress on structural reforms, which is also a big part of the EFF, are quite good. The government's primary fiscal position, which is one of the central numerical targets under the program, is expected to be near balance by the end of 2023. This is actually stronger than we had expected at the outset of the EFF program.
It's been a successful review. We've had very positive productive discussions with the IMF, and in terms of our reform program, we are in line with all the different measures that have been agreed upon, and also in terms of our performance of our economy, the economy is still doing well. We are forecasting growth of 3.8% for 2023. Which is more in line with the long-term trend in terms of the growth of our economy. In terms of revenue, we have performed much better than forecasted. On the side of expenditure, we have spent a bit less due to the challenges around the execution of capital projects. The other measures as well, inflation is more or less under control, within the acceptable parameters that the central bank has set. Our debt is on a continued decline, and we are on track to meet our debt target by 2030, which is 50%. So all in all, I would say I am satisfied at the way the economy is performing, and the target of achieving macroeconomic stability, I would say that has been achieved. Now we need to continue for us to build our economy so that we can maximize the economic growth.
The minister responsible for sports, Marie-Céline Diallo, has said that medalists from the last Indian Ocean Island Games held in Madagascar will receive their financial rewards once Madagascar submits formal results on doping tests done on the athletes. Minister Diallo made the comment while answering a private notice question from the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Sébastien Pillet, this morning. Minister Diallo said the tests should be in the country later this month. People who pass by Independence House car park today could learn more about products and services which are offered by the Ministry of Lands and Housing, along with job opportunities in the lands and housing sector. This was through an open day and exhibition which the ministry hosted today as part of activities to mark Habitat Week under the theme Resilient Urban Economies, Cities as Drivers of Growth and Recovery. The exhibition and open day were launched by the Minister for Lands and Housing, Billy Rangosamy, in the presence of several of his colleague ministers, students, partners and staff of the ministry. He said that the ministry wants to ensure that no one is left behind when it comes to access to adequate shelters for our citizens. He also added that for the next 5 years, the ministry will be focusing on 5 pillars as its strategic priorities to reduce bureaucracy and red tapes.
Strategic pillars that we want to showcase today include the digitalization pillar. Sustainability pillar is crucial also. Strategic human resource pillar, clients experience pillar. The success of this pillar depends on the rest of the pillars also. Our intention is to capture our progress through reliable and effective monitoring systems.
The Supreme Court has rejected a motion to release on bail the second accused in the Arms and Prevention of Terrorism case, Laura Valabji. However, it accepted a motion to excuse the fifth accused, Frank Kamari, from attending court except when witnesses are directly linked to his case. The decisions were given this morning during the trial in the Arms and Prevention of Terrorism case.
The defense has argued that the circumstances in the case have changed, citing, amongst others, that SCCS had dropped all charges against Mrs. Valabji and that more than 18 months down the line since the charges were imposed, no more arms have been discovered. Chief Justice Ronnie Govinen said that due to the seriousness of the offences, the fact that SCCS dropped all charges of money laundering cannot be considered a change of circumstances, and it remains that there are arms still at large. He accepted the prosecution's arguments of no change in circumstances, that even if some banks' accounts and other assets of Mrs. Valabji are under restrictions, she still has financial means to abscond or interfere with witnesses and evidence. So the request for release on bail was dismissed. The court, however, accepted lawyer Joel Camille's request that his client, fifth accused Frank Kamari, be excused from court attendances except during witnesses' testimony more material to his case. This is because of his advanced age and medical conditions, as he has been hospitalized twice since the trial began. The trial proper did not continue today as scheduled, as lawyer Basil Wao, representing 2 other accused, Leslie Benoiton and Leopold Payet, was not present for medical reasons. The case will continue on Thursday. Meanwhile, the first 3 accused, Mukesh and Laura Valabji and Leslie Benoiton, are further remanded.
Climate change, maritime security and cultural exchanges were amongst the subjects President Wavel Ramkalawan discussed with 2 new ambassadors. They are the new EU representative, Oskar Benedikt, and the Czech ambassador, Miroslav Kozek. The 2 diplomats elaborated on those subjects after presenting their credentials to the President.
First to present his credentials to the President was the Ambassador of European Union to Seychelles, Oskar Benedikt. Mr. Benedikt says some agreements between the EU and Seychelles still needs to be finalized, and he intends to work towards that goal over the next 4 years.
We have a trade agreement which we want to deepen. So we have a negotiation going on with Seychelles and 4 other countries. It's a regional agreement, and we would like to conclude such an agreement in not too long future. So I will focus on this. We also have our ongoing fisheries agreement, and in that aspect we have 2 important aspects. One is the protection of the seas, an environmental fund where we contribute, so to remove debris, from the fishing industry, from the islands, etc. And then also we have, let's say, the fight against illegal fishing.
Mr. Benedikt will be based in Mauritius. The other ambassador to present his credentials was the ambassador of Czech Republic to Seychelles, Miroslav Kozek. He believes there should be more exchanges, and in particular cultural exchanges between the 2 countries.
We were speaking about the promoting tourism in Czech Republic to attract and to bring more tourists here, to cooperate in several spheres, like for example in the health sector for future, and the waste management sector, for example, as we are preparing the visit of the Czech business delegation in a couple of months to bring some solutions and the know-how and the knowledge of our companies, how to deal with the waste management and this. And of course, then we would like to bring more companies here, as in the transport sector, health sector as well. And the important issue we were discussing was, for example, to promote Seychelles and Czech culture.
The two ambassadors have also paid courtesy calls on Vice President Ahmed Hafif.
And with this, we end this news summary. I'll be back with the news bulletin in Creole at 8. Bye for now.